Hey everybody, welcome to Hollywood WordPress. I see that you've already found the snacks because they're completely gone. So that's cool. I'm glad that everybody has already partaken. The food was provided by Art Control tonight, our wonderful sponsor. Art Control is a group of really cool designers and developers that are creating tools for WordPress consultants to do their work better. So if you go to artcontrol.com, I'm going to give a quick plug for them because they're me. So before we get started with speakers, I just want to make a few quick announcements. First announcement is WordCamp San Diego is coming up at the end of March. So just keep that on your radar. I don't think tickets are even available yet, but that's the next WordCamp I know that's locally in our area that's going to be happening. If you want to find more resources from past meetups of Hollywood WordPress, you can go to hollywoodwp.com, and Greg Medor helps us out by preparing videos of all the past meetups, and you can go back and watch any of the content as it pertains to something you want to learn about. So we've covered things from WooCommerce to getting started to plugins to we did another one of these about 9 months ago where we had people sharing their own sites. So really cool resource if you just want to go and check out some more stuff from Hollywood WordPress content. Yes?
There's a lot of good stuff in there also about site performance. A number of folks came in and gave very detailed presentations about how to optimize your site, different server tricks, different W3 total cache, and what good settings are. So I look back at that presentation a couple of times a month just to make sure that I'm doing things right.
Cool. Nice. And just last month, Roy Savan gave a talk that was focused on becoming a stronger developer and leveling up as a developer. So I know there's a lot of folks that are here that are still in that space where they are practitioners of the art, where they are playing the role of a generalist. And so if you're in that place where you're looking for more tips of leveling up as a developer, check out his talk. Well, we haven't posted his talk yet. Okay, it's coming soon.
It's been a busy month.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So the other announcements, we have a bunch of meetups that happen here in the Los Angeles area other than Hollywood WordPress. If you're from some other part, like Pasadena's got one, Topanga has a meetup. There's one over at Clever Dog. There's one over in Santa Monica. That might be the same one. There's a whole bunch. So if you're from a different area, you can easily just look up your area on meetup.com and find other cool WordPress meetups. So what other announcements do we have tonight? Yes, you had an announcement. Yeah, here, I'll give you the mic.
I know you're all terribly talented and busy, but if anybody
I'll read it.
has any time, any spare time, I have that online magazine, and I've been trying to, I don't know too much about stuff, but I know enough, trying to change the layout for 2 years all by myself. But if anybody has any help or suggestions for me at the end of the class, you can give me your card or I can give you mine. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Your name's Marcel, right? Marcel. Marcel has a website, so if you're looking for an opportunity to get involved and connect with her in her helping her customize her website, that's an opportunity. Is there anybody else here that is looking to hire or sub out work to other consultants? No? Okay, no worries. So what we're going to do right now is...
It might be back up.
Okay, I'll take a quick look. I do want to give a quick shout out to WeWork. This is a really cool location. We've been here for a while now. And till the end of this month, so there's about another 10 days, they're offering a special deal to our meetup group. So if you are interested or if you're looking for a co-working space, like a hot desk or something more exclusive, see me and then I'll connect you with the right person here at WeWork, and then you can get a spot. There is beer on tap provided by WeWork right back here, which is totally cool and generous of them too. So if you are up for beer, it's right over there. And looks like this website is still not up, so that is fine. I'm going to bring up the first person that is going to present tonight. Dina Moman will be speaking on the Santa Monica College website. Chris Stern will be speaking on Girl Boss. S.A. Magic Mensa will be presenting Ooh Watch. Leslie will be presenting Milestone Mentoring. Suzanne O'Keefe, Mason Summit. Armando Estrada and Karen Chacon will be presenting the Animation Guild website. Natalie will be presenting Picky Girls. Amber Hewitt, Anderson Bat Company. And Mary Baum, Frontenac Racket Club. Did I say that right?
Frontenac.
Great, so just to let you guys know how we're structuring this tonight, each speaker gets 7 minutes to present their website. So you want to focus in on what was the kind of like the highlight of this WordPress website as you were developing it or designing it, or what was the challenge? Because sometimes we learn more from something than we have like a highlight from it. So if it was a really important learning experience, that would be something cool to share as well. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to give each speaker a 3-minute question and answer time. Now I know that's short, there's not much to it, but we're trying to keep this so that we keep everything moving, because we've got a lot of speakers tonight. And so I'm going to be pretty strict on the time. So I've got like the little timer that's going to be like right on the button. And if there's more extended question and answer, then try to keep in mind, if we don't get to your question for that speaker, keep that in mind, connect with them after the night is over, because we're going to have a little time at the end of the evening to still connect with speakers one-on-one. So, without further ado, we are going to bring up tonight's first speaker. Dina Bowman is going to be presenting Santa Monica College.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I hope I will not be a hard act to follow. Anyway, I'm a student at Santa Monica College, and I just finished up Web 3 in the fall. And if you're in Jamie Kavanaugh's Web 3 class, the final project is redesigning the Santa Monica College website. Thank you. It's always a final project for some reason. So anyway, as you can see, the before, it's not responsive if you check in on your smartphone or on your tablet, and it's basically one big jumbled, disorganized mess that doesn't reflect a college that's #1 in transfers. So our big challenge for our class, which was divided into teams, was to get some hierarchy, some design going that was updated, and just make it user-friendly for primarily new students to attract them and keep them, and faculty and alumni. So, for our team, we came up with this design. So this is our homepage, and my assignment was the admissions page to basically streamline that. So you see there's a big difference between just the admissions and if you could find it on here. I'm not even going to try and find it on here. So one of the biggest things that we were faced with was using WordPress for the first time in this class, because usually it's done in HTML and CSS, but the instructor had us do WordPress. And trying not to buy a theme. We were like highly tempted. So this theme is actually a child theme made from Engraver's Light, and we basically designed the heck out of it. If you see check out Engraver's Light, it's very, very, very basic. So we added sliders, we changed the colors to reflect the school. We also changed the logo, and we added lots of plugins. Campus gallery and all that good stuff, virtual tour, and weather. For the foreign students in our class, they really like the weather part. And let's see here. Ah, are you coming up? Okay. And so we made it a lot easier. You're going to have a choice of applying online, getting oriented, access your abilities with these lovely plugins here. And I think we pretty much made our go of making it a lot easier to use, and yeah. So that's it. Any questions? Yes.
I really like the design. It's very clean. It's very beautiful. It's easy to navigate. I'm just wondering, you made a point of saying that the original Santa Monica College website is not responsive. This doesn't look like it's very responsive either, is it?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it folds up very neatly on a smartphone or on a tablet. It shrinks down. That was one criteria that we had to meet, that it had to be responsive.
Are they going to use it, I hope?
No.
Too bad.
That was the question.
She wanted to know if they were going to use it.
Yeah, because they'll go something's awful.
I have a theory that they will finally revamp the website when they're done with construction on campus. But they made like minute changes to the website just to make it easier, but nothing big overall. Any other questions?
You mentioned that you used a number of plugins. How many plugins? And I was told by someone here that when you have a lot of plugins, it could slow down the website.
Yes.
And could you give us an idea of what kinds of plugins?
Yes. We put in shortcodes. Shortcodes are really great. We also put in a calendar and an Instagram image gallery, a Jetpack, of course. And let's see, the total was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, including a forms plugin.
I don't know. Somebody said there's a lot of plugins.
As far as if it's a lot of plugins or not, Greg, we've had this talk before. I find that it's not necessarily the number of the plugins, but what they're doing. So if you're putting several slideshow plugins into your site that all have their own connection to jQuery and their own connection to when you're loading entire packages in replicate of one another, that's where you'll see, that's what I see a lot of slowdowns. Roy, is there things to avoid for rules of thumb?
If they're loading, depends on what they're loading. So if like you're using a plugin, sometimes you'll get a lot of plugins, even like Gravity Forms, which will load their code onto every single page even if you don't have a form on it. So just take into consideration what they're loading onto pages where you're not actually using the functionality.
That's one of the things you can do with functions.php. You can tell it to only load parts of JavaScript code into particular pages that you want to load in. So if you're loading a big fancy slider on your home page, you don't want to have to load all that JavaScript on every single page because it doesn't function at all. So yeah, it's depending on what each plugin does, you could have 20, 30 plugins and it doesn't impact the performance. You could have 5 and it does. So it's not a set number, it's more what those plugins do that causes the problem.
And not every plugin is on every page. Anyone else?
That's it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to keep things rolling right along. The next presenter is Chris Sturm with Girl Boss. Yes, you can give him a hand. Hi.
So my name is Chris. I've been a consultant for about 15 years now. I've been working with WordPress since about 2009. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about girlboss.nastygal.com. Anybody here heard of Nasty Gal before? Yes, a few. Nasty Gal. Yeah, that's kind of the same reaction I had. I saw the domain name of the person emailing me that I was talking to, and I said, what am I getting myself into? Well, it turns out they're actually women's fashion. It's kind of along the line of Forever 21, very hip, very trendy. In 2013, they were actually considered to be the fastest growing e-commerce website on all of the interwebs. They did about $128 million in sales that year, and that's very impressive considering how this company was started, which is actually outlined in the book, Girl Boss. So this book was written by the CEO. Her name is Sophia, and this is her right here. And I was brought in to build a website for the book. So that's what we're looking at. There's nothing particularly special about this website, except for the fact that I built it on a very, very compressed timeline. We did it in only 21 days, which is 7 days quicker than anything I've ever done before. And so what we did is we actually started with a paid theme, which turned out not to matter at all because I actually rewrote about 85% of it. My specialty is more along the lines of programming and engineering. So I did not design the website, but the guy who did works for Nasty Gal. He's really good. I would highly recommend him. A few things about the site is this site actually forced me to learn less. Usually I use Sass for all of my CSS, but a lot of the common stuff on this site was already written for the Nasty Gal website in their base style sheet, so I used that and took a couple days, learn less. The lesson is I don't like less. What else? So one of the other things that I did is I went through and I put together a build process for this site. We knew that it was going to be a very high user load, and so using Grunt, I put together a process that did concatenation, minification, versioning, things like that. And then you put all that work into something like that, and the client goes ahead and puts a 1.2 megabyte animated GIF in the slideshow. So all of that hard work was just completely negated, yeah. And that's about a third of what it was when they showed it to me. Oh, another fun thing about the site. So I was looking through the commit messages of the project a couple days ago, looking for things I could talk about, and I came across what is quite possibly my favorite commit message that I wrote in all of 2014. And hopefully you can see that. Do you see what happens, Larry, when you don't include style sheets? If you develop themes in WordPress, it's probably a lot funnier. And of course, the final thing about this site that I really liked was probably my favorite part, segues with a bit of a funny story. Nasty Gal has a great technical team, and their ops guys are really good, but they don't actually work with WordPress very often. So when I came in, they asked me to help design the server architecture for the site. And of course, the big question is, what's the user load going to be? And I had no idea. So I asked the project manager. She had no idea. So we talked to the marketing people. And they were sitting right behind me. So turned around and said, hey, how many users are we going to have on the site? And they started going through their list of everything they were working on, and they kept coming back to GMA. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. They're talking about the GMA number. Oh, what's our GMA? And I got really worried because it sounded like a very, very important metric, something that I should know and I didn't. And I thought, these guys are going to bust me. They're going to figure out I don't know this, and it's going to be over. So for days, I had no idea. I overheard another conversation, and I put two and two together. Girl Boss is a book. When a book comes out, the author goes on tour. Well, the kickoff for the book tour was Sophia's appearance on Good Morning America. Yeah. So instead of saying Good Morning America, like normal people, they said GMA. So my favorite part about the site is GMA, or Good Morning America, has 8.6 million people for their viewership every single day. So we said, okay, worst case scenario is every single person watching the show jumps on the website right away. And in designing the architecture, this very, very simple, innocuous looking site is running on 9 server instances. So everything inbound hits an ELB, which is AWS's Elastic Load Balancer. Excuse me. And then behind that, we have 2 sets each of an HA proxy box, which goes into the web application server, which is just your basic LAMP stack sitting behind Varnish. And then that feeds into a dedicated MySQL server. And of course, those are replicated with each other. The application servers are synced with each other. And then behind all that, we have a backup server, which is taking snapshots every hour and also doing a MySQL dump. And then behind that, we have an out-of-band backup server that's backing everything up. Just in case for some random reason, the first 5 servers spontaneously combust or something, I don't know. Then we'll be able to restore the site. So as it turns out, on launch day, we didn't get 8.6 million people, but we did have 250,000 uniques in the first day. So for me, that's kind of cool to go from absolutely 0 to 250,000 in the span of a couple hours. Probably the biggest launch I've had at this point. So from here on out, obviously the traffic has trickled off a little bit, but we're still seeing about mid 5-figure hits per day. So there it is, Girl Boss. Questions? Yes.
How do you separate all that, the databasing of the server? How do you separate the database and the code and the other redundancies? 7 servers, that's a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy. When you're setting up your MySQL server, you just tell the application where is it. In a typical WordPress installation, you're probably using localhost, which would be everything hosted on the same server, but you just give it an IP address or a domain name, some sort of identifier. Yep.
You said you didn't like less. Why don't you like less?
So having started in SaaS, learning less, everything just felt backwards. Like the mix-ins felt weird. I don't know. Maybe it was just the fact that I had to learn it in a day, but I haven't used it since. I guess I didn't give it a fair shot.
Yes.
You said that the backup servers and the servers and the servers, is that something that they set up because they already had this existing site?
This is all on their infrastructure.
So it wasn't something that you needed specifically to sell this book?
No. Anybody else? Nope. Yes.
Were you the only developer on this project?
I was the only developer. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to bring up our next presenter. Just keep things moving along. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning. One of our sponsors, SiteGround. They're really cool WordPress hosting. I use them for some of my sites. How many people here already use SiteGround for their sites? couple folks. All right, well, for those of you that have not yet tried it, you're looking for a cool WordPress host, SiteGround is the way to go. We've got some of their swag back here on this table. Even if you don't want to use them as a host, you can wear their socks. Or you can use their little pads of paper, which is very trendy right now. Put your notes on little pads of paper. Everybody's doing it. Okay, our next presenter is S.A. Magic Mensa with Watch. Is she not? That's you. Okay.
As you can see, I've been getting the white screen of death, so that's why I did that. But I'll just reload it again. Okay, there we go. So I'm Essie. It's actually not S.A., it's Essie, E-S-I. And Magic is just my nickname. I wasn't born with that name. But anyway, I guess I'm one of the few people here that isn't a developer who builds websites for other people. I have been using WordPress since 2010 now, and I guess you can say I'm not a developer. I'm actually a media and launch specialist, which is different. But I do know HTML and CSS, and I pretty much have built websites for myself. I have 3, and this is my favorite one, I guess, or the one that I care about the most. Pretty much, it's called oowatch.com, and it is like a viral video, funny video, and music website. The concept of Watch is kind of like saying, ooh, watch this person jump over, something like that. Or, ooh, watch this person eat 30 hot dogs. That's kind of the concept that I came up with. So pretty much what I did was, the theme that I used is called Gridly, but this actually resembles nothing like what it was. Pretty much the only thing that was from the original theme was these 3 columns, and if I scroll down, you can see that it just continues those 3 columns. And even originally it wasn't like that. It had, they were like different sizes. So I made all the featured images the same, a fixed width, and I added this sidebar so that I can put ads and all sorts of things on there. And I changed the header. The header used to be at least 4 times the size of that, and I shrunk it down to that little bit, and I put those social media things in there. I'm lucky, though. I have a brother who's a developer, so anytime I get stuck, he helps me. So he put in this extra menu there, and he's going to actually put the sidebar. But everything else I pretty much did. Originally, the theme was all the way to the left, and then I centered it all so that it would fit right in the middle. So it's a video-centric site. So even though it looks like an entertainment news site, every story is based on a video. So for example, if I scroll down to here, some of the videos I'll just take from YouTube because I don't want to, if someone worked really hard on the video, I don't want to steal it. But other videos I download, and I have my own video player there. So that was installed with a plugin. Yeah, so pretty much what I'd like to know from you guys, because one of the things that attracted me to this group is the fact that when I ask people their opinion on the site, when you ask your friends, obviously they're going to be like, oh, great, you know what I mean? But I know that people who have expertise in this, and there we have the white screen again. Hopefully one of you guys can help me figure out why it keeps doing that. But yeah, coming to a group like this, I was hoping to get good feedback from people who have expertise in this area. Yeah, I don't really know what else. Oh, the questions you had. It happens randomly. The funny thing is I actually, I've Googled it, I've deleted all the plugins, but the problem is because it happens randomly, I can't tell when what's causing it. Like, I thought I fixed it, and then I was like, yay, and then all of a sudden it came back again because I thought I figured out which plugin it was, but then it came back. So, yeah, that's something I have to really sit down and needle through. But to answer the question you had about what I'm most proud about is that this site is actually, I guess you can say, version 4.0. Originally, I had this site under a different name. My nickname's SEMagic, as I said, and it was called SEMagic.com, and it kind of looked more like a Perez Hilton that straight down type blog type thing. And I noticed that I got a lot of reception on like the videos, like I post funny videos, viral videos, and those are the things that got me a lot of hits, and I enjoyed looking for them a lot myself. So eventually this year, around April, well not this year because 2015, but 2014 April, I decided to completely throw away the concept I had before and change it to this. Unfortunately, I lost all my SEO, of course, and like with my old site, I had a bit of success. It was called, like I remember in 1 month I got like 20,000 hits, and it was like doing well, but then I'm not actually from LA. I moved here about 1.5 years ago. So prior to me moving here, I went to school, and so that website I couldn't balance it all. And so I kind of lost all the hits anyway, so I was like, I might as well revamp it into what I really want anyway. But yeah, and one thing I've learned is how difficult it is to run a site like this. If you'll notice, the dates are not current because I can't post enough. So to actually make a website like this successful, you need a team, you need money, you need investors, and I guess that's where it's good that I work in marketing, is because, well, I've been working in marketing for about 1 year now, and now that I've been doing that, I kind of have learned really what it takes to take a site like this to the next level. But other than that, I think that's all I have to say. If there's any other questions.
That looks really great. I
Thank
think you said like you upload the videos to your server,
Yes.
and I was wondering what the reason is for that rather than using YouTube or something like that.
For example, what would happen is, depending, like for example, a video like this one here, Sia, she's a very popular singer, their video is not going to be deleted, it'll be there. But what was happening was that I would take people's videos and then 2 days later it's deleted. Then I'd have to find another one and put it back. So I decided that as much as I could, I'd rather download the videos to my own server so that that way it can't be deleted, it can't, be gone. And I mean, the only thing about that is obviously it takes up more server space, and I don't know if the plugin that I'm using is part of this white screen problem, but that's the reason why I do it that way if I can help it.
Do you own the rights to the videos? Is it right to put it on your server, or is it like Creative Commons?
It depends. If it's a bit, I mean, I guess this is where it tests my morals as a as a website owner. I kind of assess each situation differently. If it's a situation where you can tell somebody has a YouTube channel, they put lots of effort into it, they're posting daily, or not daily, they're posting, often. You can tell they have a lot of hits and stuff like that. I'll never steal a video ever. If it's a situation where it's like a video of like somebody gets in a fight in front of a gas station, and you go on YouTube and you see so many channels, you know how there's some channels who they don't have a lot of subscribers, but they just post these things to get hits or whatever. And I see that the video is spread among a lot of different channels. I kind of look at it like, okay, I guess this person doesn't mind if it's shared because it's, on different channels. But it's kind of case by case. I don't really know how to, there's no set formula. If I can take their video and give them credit, I always do. But if it's somewhere I don't even know who made the original video, don't know where it came from, sometimes these videos are sent into other sites of people catching things, and so you don't even have a source of it, really. It's just something that's funny, people will enjoy, so then you just post it.
All right.
What
This will be the last
your
question.
self-hosted videos? What are you using a plugin for the video players? I'm just curious.
What'd you say?
What plugin are you using for the video player for your self-hosted videos, the ones you upload?
Okay, I'm using Video.js, but I also use Video Embed. I think it's Video Embed Maker or something, because Video.js doesn't make the embed code, so people can embed it on other websites. So I actually have 3 plugin-related, video-related plugins. Video.js, Video Embedded Encoder, or something like that. And then Video Thumbnailer, so that it can make thumbnails for these YouTube videos, because I still have to make the thumbnails for the YouTube videos, so that they're the right size.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, we are going to bring up our next speaker, our next presenter, who is Leslie, who's going to be presenting Milestone Mentoring.
Testing, testing, testing. Hello, countrymen. No taxes for the middle class. I'm Leslie Whitner, and this was an interesting project for me, Milestone Mentoring, kind of a unique business model. They mentor adolescents, teens, who are transitioning to, let's say, from high school to college or high school to work, and they might have learning differences like ADD or Asperger's or something like that, and they need help. You know, they need to learn life skills. And so this was interesting. There are psychologists, educators, and even fitness trainer. So I spent a lot of time with the client, finding out really what they do, what their needs are, who their audience is, and what kind of content they need. And ultimately, I determined that their user is one special group, parents. Parents who care about their kids, who want to see them succeed, no matter what challenges they may have. And so I felt like this site needs to connect emotionally. And so that was the challenge for me. That was the main challenge. I'm going to enlarge this. This is small for me. So I started I worked with the client to edit the content and minimalize it, because really a picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, that's a trite saying, but the reason it's trite, it's true. And so I narrowed this down to the minimal content. This is really a blogging platform for them. Of course, they have great intentions about blogging frequently, but the last time I see a post here is back in July, and the best intentions. So, and I made the navigation as simple as possible. It's really basically home, blog, about us, and contact, but I made it more friendly with what we do, who we are, get in touch. And when they submitted the headshots for who we are, they were all over the place. They were different photographers, different time, different color schemes, different quality. So I had to set up a photography section for the headshots and art direct that. But that worked out well. Everybody was happy with it. And so then I spent a lot of time researching. Well, first of all, I researched a new theme to use, because I wasn't going to build it myself. Well, I got WordPress. So I needed a theme that had good support, because I just had a terrible experience with a wonderful theme, beautifully designed, worked wonderful, but I think the developer who supported it himself got sick, and he wasn't around when you had a question or you had a bug. And so I went with a theme that was well supported and very flexible in terms of I built a minimal one-page theme with site with it, but you could do a multi-page, very deep, site with pages and pages and breadcrumbs galore, with the same theme. So it's very versatile in that way. I created this new identity for them and the color scheme. And then I researched stock photography that would connect with the parents emotionally and tell the story. So here, you know, this is a teen with a mentor. This is a child struggling with his assignment. This is another teen with a mentor. And then ultimately, a girl jumping for joy because she reached her goals. And the client was very happy with it. They told me they couldn't be happier, and that's the best thing to hear from a client, really. So, what else? It's responsive. Let's see, can I show you that? I don't know. I can show you that. Works great on various devices, on all devices. So. Any questions? No questions?
Yes. How long did it take you from start to finish on the project?
Gee, it's hard to tell. I'd have to go back and look at what I tracked, but you know, from first meeting to developing the logo to interfacing with them just to find out what their needs are. I mean, it was a lot of hours, but the building of the site didn't take that long. The most of the investment in time was finding out who they are, who their audience was, and what their content needs to be, and then finding a photographer, art directing the headshots, and then researching the stock photos took a lot of time because I was very selective about what was going to communicate to their audience. Yes?
What was the theme you built this on? You said you bought a well-supported theme.
Enfold, it's a theme forest theme. A very popular theme that's always being advanced with new features and stuff. You know. In fact, as I told Greg, yesterday I decided to update it, and I updated the version of WordPress. I didn't realize that 0.1 had come out. And so then, because of the customizations I've made, there were bugs I had to fight. I didn't even know if I was going to make it here tonight because I wasn't going to present with my bugs. But I figured it out. Anyone else?
Did you find that theme to be buggy?
No, but this is one of those themes because it is so versatile and it's built on a framework where people who know nothing about development can like build it from, you know, components. And so there's a hell of a lot of classes, forgive my language, but, and so when you're trying to customize something, just narrowing down what class you need to target, that's tough on a theme like this. Maybe some of you have experienced that too.
I was going to say, do you use your inspect element tool? And you still have a hard time?
Constantly.
Oh, okay.
Constantly. But yeah, no, the number of classes in this theme is like unbelievable. Unbelievable. Next project I'm going to go with a really minimal theme. But this is a great thing. I mean, I probably will use it again for something that will work for it. Am I done?
Yep, you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, we are going to have one more presenter, then we're going to take a 5-minute break after that. We're about the halfway point right now, and the next presenter for this evening is Suzanne O'Keefe. She will be presenting Mason Summit.
here for a few months, but I'm glad to be back. I built this site, what I'm proud about is this is a result of some of the meetings that we've had, and Greg, because I knew I had to learn how to use underscore, and I didn't quite know what to do with it. And one of the meetings a few months ago, Greg said, oh, there's this great video tutorial that he recommended I watch from WordPress down Orange County a few months earlier, and I did. I watched that. It was using Foundation, so I tackled that, and this is the website that resulted from that. So I used Foundation and underscores for the first time, so yay me. And, this is Mason Summit. He's a young singer-songwriter, but really intentional about his art. His music is amazing, and he's really on the ball. And so I worked with him and his mom to put together a nice site for him. It was a challenge because they didn't quite understand the value of a photography session, and I really communicated how important it was that this was going to live forever. You needed to get a good photography site. So they ended up putting it together Labor Day weekend, and the photography is just phenomenal, so it makes a huge difference. It's a basic, straightforward site, but it works very well for him. We've got a bio that has a nice, big, strong image, a little bit of text. Got some, current stuff with the posts from Facebook here. Got music and shop, and I used as a framework for these audio theme plugin, I think, or framework it's called, that I've used on other sites, and it works really well. So if you have a friend that wants to use music site, it's called Audio Theme, and I've forgotten the name of the company, but look up Audio Theme, it's very good. You can play music here, you've got all the credits and contacts, you can buy it through iTunes here, and straightforward press. Okay, we'll go to video first, see if that works. Well, you can imagine. It's just taking its time. Try the shows, see if we can bring. It's just so. Well, it was the first time I had used such a bare bones framework, and learning, all the how it all works with Foundation and everything was a challenge, but it was really freeing once I figured it out. I felt that I had a lot of control over everything, and I had, I could put in what I really wanted instead of having to take out things I didn't want, which was a big plus for me. Okay, it doesn't really want to do it. Let's go back. Let's try this. That's better. Okay, so yeah, and this slider is a soliloquy slider, which I really find is very useful and very elegant. We use Bands in Town to integrate with Bands in Town here. These are blog posts, and this is just a, I think, Facebook integration plugin as well. So it's fairly minimal, but it really worked well, I think, with the design and using a few of the, plugins that were, there we go. So yeah. So I also recommend you go and see him, because he's really good. So any questions besides this?
I like your typography a lot.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was actually a lot of, I spent a lot of time in typography, and this is the site, this Mason Summit was actually what's it called, Hitchcock, I think it's called, or something like that. It's a Hitchcock style type, and getting a type kit version of this was impossible. So these are styled. I don't think they're actual.
You can probably find something close on Fontsful or Google Fonts.
Yeah, no. I spent hours looking.
I know.
But yeah, thank you. That was a big. I think this was the closest one I got, and it wasn't quite this. But
that's okay. It looks fine.
Oh, good.
And then I know I can just barely see, thanks to my lovely glasses, distance prescription for the first time, that your body copy seems to be also a handwriting typeface.
It's I think it's Futura. Actually.
Oh.
I just did a lot of type styling. My mentor and person I work with a lot is a great typographer, so I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with typekit to make this, readable and look like it has air in it. And if you ever spend, if you want your site to look elegant, spend a few hours or more than a few hours on typography, letter spacing and line height. I highly recommend.
I've discovered a property you're going to love. For times when you've got a long measure like that, there's actually something called column count.
Column
and
count.
column gap.
Ah.
Which I've started using anytime I can get a whole bunch of content into one div.
It's good to know. It's
Yeah.
really good. I do spend a lot of
I've
time.
only been using it about 2 or 3 months, but it has changed my life.
Column count and column. What was the second one? Column count and column. Okay.
And you do have to preface.
Okay. Great. That's lovely to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks like you're not selling anything directly on the site. You just bounce them over to a link to
iTunes.
iTunes, yeah. Well, he's in high school still, so he just wanted to sell through iTunes. He was basically saying, I want people to hear my music. I want to get it out. But that's not a priority for him to have sales in house. So that's what they decided to do.
I just have a question about, for a site that is, like you were saying, is a little bit more basic, that's just about a person, do you ever have these clients asking you to actually write their copy?
Oh, all the time. I started, I'm a writer by my beginning of my training, so I do a lot of copywriting, so I tend to write a lot of copy,
Is that something you like, or do you wish you were just building the website and the fonts like you were saying?
Oh, I love copywriting. I have a master's in it, so I have a master's in writing, so it comes really easily to me, so I love that part of it. So, but it's hard to get paid and to end up working a lot of hours doing things you don't like to do if you're a copywriter. So it's nice to be able to combine, my skills in something like this. So I tend to write a lot but these days there's a lot less copy than there used to be. So yeah.
So sorry to add it, give a 2.0 question here.
That's okay.
So with the copy and everything together, how long did it take you to make this
Do this?
site?
Goodness. Well, it was probably over 2 months because they had a deadline. They had a big release date at Room 5, so they knew when they needed to get it up. So I was cramming, and then had to wait for the photography to be finished. So it was, it wasn't 2 months of solid work, but it was 2 months of work. So but I mean that I couldn't charge for it all. But but it start to finish is probably 2 months. And then I learned this. So thank you all, and yay for
Okay, what we're going to do right now is just take a few minute break. There's a little bit of chips and hummus left. There's some beer back here. Feel free to make your way over there. Bathrooms are out that door to the left. And then the SiteGround swag, socks, you're going to want the socks. You're going to want to grab one of these cool little notepads to take notes on. and then we'll be right back here in about 5 minutes. Okay, everybody, if you will make your way back to your seats now, we are going to crack right into our next presentation. How have you guys been liking these presentations so far? Pretty cool, huh? I dig this time when we can do these nights where we just kind of have like a retrospective of what people have been developing using WordPress in our meetup group. So thank you to those that have already presented, and thank you to those that are still going to present. Right now, we are going to get started with our next website, which is going to be presented by Armando Estrada. He's a programmer. And Karen Chacon, she's a designer. And this is the Animation Guild website, which I'm excited to hear about. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, so Armando and I have been working together since the web started. So we've gone through a lot of changes together. We own a company right now of about 4 or 5 people only. He's the sole programmer, I'm the creative director, and we have a few production people. This site, the Animation Guild, they're a union for animators, and the challenge with this site was to sell our ideas of what we wanted to do with the site to a group of like 8 people that were on a committee that had to sign off on everything. So one of the things that we incorporated, or a number of things that we incorporated into this site that they didn't have in their previous site, you'll notice too, it's the beta version, is a community that includes a member section, a member directory, and it also spotlights the members' work. So on refresh every time when you go to a page, or to the home page, it shows up and features a new member, their artwork, and then whatever they chose for their profile picture. We also added a forum. We integrated their blog, which used to be on a separate website that was horrible. We integrated that into the site. And a store, which they didn't have before either. So I think that about covers the site. Armando will talk about all the programming stuff.
All right. So one of the main things that the Guild wanted to do was highlight their members, which is, membership for the Guild is the driving method. 5,000 members. Yeah, so it's a driving method of them, generating income. So they wanted to focus on the members. So we are 839, which is 839 is their local union number. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the different labor unions for the entertainment industry. They all have a different local number. So Karen came up with the concept of every time somebody hits the home page, we will spotlight 2 different members on refresh. From right here, you can go straight to their profile section. But before we do that, the homepage is broken down into different sections. There's a calendar module here. This is an actual plugin found on Code Canyon. The artwork here is supplied by an actual member. So this is hand-drawn by a member that they hired. Over here they have 3 blog post sections that highlight current news items. This is actual draggable as well on mobile devices, or you can use your keyboard to scroll through them. But what I want to show you is they wanted to have a unified experience for all of their members, whether they're on PC, Mac, tablet, mobile, whatever. So they were really adamant about having a hamburger-style menu and for it to be responsive. So it just collapses down. You guys seen this 100 times. As you can see at the top 2, the logo also swaps out once you hit a specific breakpoint. So right there, you just get to their other version of their logo. The slide out tray menu is also another plugin. It's called Shift Nav, if anyone's interested. It allows for multiple, different levels. The user can go back and forth. So the member profile section, located right here in the community. So one of the things that the Guild does is that they represent all these people who work in animation. So you have companies like Disney, Nickelodeon, and all these big companies calling them up all the time, say, hey, we need a background painter, we need a somebody who does, animation story person or writer or anything. So they got tired of all the phone calls. They wanted to have a directory of all the members online where these companies come in and find the people they're seeking. So we had to create a search form which has a parametric search. Sorry, I'm not a good presenter. So they can search by first name, last name. They can search for a specific job title. So let's say, for example, they're looking for an art director. Maybe they're looking for a animation director and somebody who's available. So once they hit search, WordPress will take both of those search criteria and just spit out a search result. From right here, we can see that Chris has all these different skills, and they also have the availability to set up a date if they're currently on a job. Let's say my job is over in May. I know my job is over in May. At that point, I'm looking for new work. So they have that visible right here on the search results, or if they're currently available now. So let's take a look at Chris here for a second. From here, we can see some samples of their work, ways to get in contact with them, their website, their blog. So from right here, the studios are able to communicate directly with the members. Now, in order for you to have a profile, you have to be a member of the guild. And in order for you to have a profile page, you have to fill out an application. I'm going to do that here in Firefox real quick. So let's say that I am a guild member, and I want to have a profile page. In order for me to do that, I have to fill out this short application here. So here's where the fun begins. So when I type in my name, when I fill out my application, let me just call this WordPress is my name, last name fun, and then my email address doesn't really matter at this point. 4 digits of social security number so they can verify that you are actually a member. In other words, this filters out people who just think that anyone can have a profile, which they cannot. Once the social security number is verified, then their profile page becomes activated. I'm going to create a username and a password. When I hit submit, what happens is a couple things happen. The member gets, so I guess what happens is the member gets an email saying, "Hey, thanks for filling out the application. We'll be back to you soon." The Animation Guild itself also gets an email saying, "Hey, someone filled out an application. This is their information. Please verify this to make sure that they're actually a member." Me.com 124. No. All right. So
how did you do that?
So then once, so then the member, once their profile is activated, they can go in, update their profile, they can upload pictures, fill out their information, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they, I'm sorry?
How do you handle the verification?
There's 3 major plugins that I use for development. One is from a company called WP Types. They offer a suite of plugins. One of them is a custom post type plugin, which is free actually. The actual suite also allows for front-end editing of content. That plugin allows the notification of the different emails. So you can set up multiple notifications. Say when this form gets filled out, you can create 1 notification, 2 or 3, and have them go different places.
But the social security number part, the comparing against the database.
There is no comparing. That is all done manually by the Animation Guild.
That's a human function.
It's a human, exactly. The Animation Guild itself needs to verify because they have a separate type of database for that. So the Animation Guild gets an email that says somebody filled this out. They verified the last 4 digits of the social security number. Yes, I am a member. They go into the admin and they actually publish their, because this also creates a custom post type, creates a user, it does all that automatically for them. So all they have to do is say publish and everything's created for them automatically.
And Okay, so it's not an instant verification?
No, because of the fact that these people must be a paying guild member and a working member, the Animation Guild must verify that they're actually a real member, their membership is up to date.
So there's no plugin out there that will cross-check against the database, any sort of membership?
Yeah, if I created a custom post type called Social Security, and they export it on an Excel file, import it into here as a custom post type, then I will be able to program a check for that. Yeah, but they didn't want that. They really wanted to be able to control who gets approved and who does not get approved. Yes. Sorry, I think I saw her hand earlier.
I'm just wondering if you can log in and show us what it looks like as a member, so we can see like the options they have.
To update a profile?
Yeah, to put up their profile and edit it and all that.
Sure, I can.
And I can talk about that while he's trying to get that to work.
How about that?
So basically when they log in, exactly what you saw there in an order, at first it tells them to upload their profile picture and it gives them the dimensions of that. Then it allows them to check off all of the descriptions. When you saw the member search area that he went to earlier, they can check off all of those titles that apply to them, their work experience. And then they have a featured image, that's the larger image that you see, and that's the image that appears on the home page when people go. So, and then they have up to 3 more, I think, smaller images that they can load as well.
Yeah. If everybody's interested, maybe we'll ask them to come back to give a longer
minutes.
presentation.
Yeah, I know. It goes by quick.
It does.
But there's a lot of features in here that
Thank you guys. I mean, I can tell there's a lot more here to still be explored. If you have more questions for Karen and Armando, see them at the end of the night, like get with them one-on-one. Okay, we are going to bring up this evening's next presenter. Who is Natalie, who is going to be presenting Picky Girls.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I built this site. This is my business, and I started building WordPress websites in 2010 when I was going down to San Diego to do social marketing for people so I could serve. So I went in to do some social marketing, and someone said, oh, I have a referral for you, and they need a website accomplished, and I have built a website on GoDaddy. So I was like, oh yeah, I could build them a website. So I went and spoke to this client, and he said, oh, we want this theme, and it was on WordPress. And he says, can you do it? And I'll have another client after that for you. I said, sure, I can do it. So I went back to where I was staying after I surfed. And I'm like, I want to get this, because then I can surf, I can ride my bike. And so I just cried. I cried and cried, because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, because I want this money so I can have more free time. I was already building Picky Girls, and it was a whole different concept. I had trademarked it as a clothing line, so on and so forth, more like Nasty Girl. But through the years, meeting the right people, I've come down to a core product. So I have built other sites, but Picky Girls right now is just my site just for a branding, because I'm sending out to Venture Cap right now and sending my business plan, and it's just a way to have my brand out there. But it's kind of fun to build this little site, and I just wanted it to be useful on a phone, and if Venture Cap wanted to see what Picky Girls look like, I eventually will need programmers to design it all the way through, and I need the big guys to come in and not just build a WordPress design. I need it's a whole method, it's a whole software, and I can't tell you what that is. But what I liked most about this website was I always used the elegant theme, and it was really easy to use, and so I could just make it basic and just get the gist of the colors and what Picky Girls represents. And it was easy to do the home page and just give satisfy your shopping needs easily with Picky Girls. I just wanted to make one sharp statement right there. It's colorful. Instead of putting an about page, I put a relevance page. And that was fun to do. I just put, instead of putting paragraphs, I just wanted to make it simple. They can go to my LinkedIn page, find out more about me, a little bit more about Picky Girls, my contact. I liked all this little animation. I can get in touch with me. It's just, everything was so easy to use with this elegant thing. And I didn't really set up how to do a profile yet. That wasn't really that important. It was just to give people an idea. But the shop page really isn't a shop page, but I like this mobile app page because it was just fun to do. And the part I liked about it was not that I uploaded a really bad, large size file. That was really bad. But I liked how I could put in this little section right here and give the venture cap guys, girls, whatever, an idea what I'm building. But I can't tell you the method. Nothing's really here. I can't really tell you what it is totally, but it's just ideas. It was fun to do. And this video page. It is going to have videos on here. Videos, what are you picky about? There's a lot of things people are picky about, but can't tell you any of that. But it gave me an idea to, I like just, this page was fun to do. And then if you scroll down, I did something wrong. I guess I have to check it out in different computers. Oh, this page right here. So let me refresh it and see if it does it again. So I like that part. But with the numbers, it animated the numbers. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so this is just for me. So I'm not trying to, it's just kind of like a marketing page. So if I was doing it for a client, of course I'd make it like they want it. But this for me is just a little kind of almost like a PowerPoint presentation. Resources page isn't that exciting. Shop page, it's all just kind of a place card. And so it's basically the mobile app page and my video page. This part right here was fun to do. Add all those little features. So that's all. That's really it. And I used elegant themes, and I like them because I feel like I can change it around pretty easily. They're really super cool and beautiful, and I haven't found them to be buggy whatsoever. So I've used other themes and for clients, and they seem to be more buggy, and I don't like that. I don't like things to go wrong. So this one seems to be easier to use. So this one is Diva, of course, for Piggy Girls. DB, yes, DB, yeah, yes. Yes, it's good, and all of these pages are really for me just to practice some stuff. And if it was a client, I wouldn't leave things just there, but it's just to give an idea, just really for the venture cap people, just to really just have Picky Girls as a domain out there to click on and hold it there in the world till I can get funding, large funding. So that's it. That elegant themes I think is $39 a year or $49 a year, and you can get change it out just for yourself. But if you're a web designer, you pay a certain amount, you can get all you can use, and it's great. They're really might be a good idea for yours.
So I saw that it said Shopify. Have you actually used Shopify, or has anybody here used Shopify? It appears that they actually have their own web design, but does it also integrate with WordPress?
No.
Shopify?
I don't have Shopify on here, but I know that it's a great resource to use. I think the WooCommerce is good for WordPress, and so you might check out WooCommerce for WordPress. It's nicely.
And here in LA, we are lucky enough to have a WooCommerce meetup, if you are specifically interested in WooCommerce.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And Baylor Rosen.
And there was a presentation by Greg Medore right here at Hollywood WordPress that's on our blog about WooCommerce. So that guy, the guy that just said that.
So is the content for Picky Girls going to be user-submitted
things that they find picky, or is it that you're creating all that content? Then what's the pricing tier that you have on that?
Picky Girls is actually a whole software platform. It's a method that I've designed, but I have it all on paper somewhere. And it's something I can't share with you because unless you have $4 million.
My banker.
If you have $4 million, it could go to $1 billion. It's a marketing plan of $1 billion.
Going twice.
I can use a loan.
All right, cool. Okay, we are going to bring up our next website presenter, who is Amber Hewitt, and she will be presenting Anderson Bat Company.
Okay, my name is Amber Hewitt, and my company is Graphic Goo. I've been doing WordPress since '09, and this is Anderson Bat Company. I've been working with them on and off over the last 7 years, and the website you're seeing right now is their prior version that I did, obviously with Flash, and they were going through a transition where the company was sold, and the company that acquired them needed a transition website to carry them into their next phase. So with the old website, it was pretty narrow, it was dark. The client at the time wanted something more with action and a little more comic book, so every now and then we throw in some comic book feel to that. And the e-commerce that was used was AmeriCart, and that was for selling the for the pro shop. That was the bags, the gloves, and other accessories. The bats themselves at the time were not sold online, they were sold through dealers, and there was a dealer locator through that. So for the new website, they wanted a clean break from that. They wanted a clean and simple website, no cartoons, no comic books. They wanted to appeal to the 35 to 50-year-old male, mostly dads, that are shopping for their kid or for themselves for playing in softball or baseball. And the old website was ASP, and I wanted to get them off of that. I needed to get them onto WordPress so they had a cohesive back end that they could get into their own and update the website if need be. And complete opposite, clean, white, expands, responsive, and at the top we had a slider which would be used for announcing new bats or new accessories. And I wanted to include the hero shot. Unfortunately, at the time that this was put live, the photographer was not done taking photos, so I had to improvise and get stock photography for the top shot, as well as down below. So each of those bats are photoshopped in. And so you had the 5 sections. They wanted to keep that on the main page. And they wanted to highlight that where you can find the bats. So there was an online dealers, which was basically links to Amazon, Dick's Sporting Goods, and a store locator, which was completely different this time. And using the store locator, it was Store Locator Plus Pro plugin. And it was set up where it would read your location automatically and bring up a list of the closest stores, but still allow you to put in a URL, a zip code, so you could find a store in a different state or location. And with the equipment, they wanted to,
we wanted a more hero shot. And the pictures of the bats. Of course, the hard part is trying to showcase the bats in a different way. But if you look at a bat, there's only a few ways you can highlight a bat. So we chose this angle. And they wanted to also include videos that they shot with people swinging the bat, a description, but they didn't want the YouTube look where you have the big red button and the title at the top. So I used Advanced Responsive Video Embedder, which is great, by the way. And just, you plug it in, it's a short code, and you can have it like this, where it's a nice, simple, big play button, or it can load automatically and play, which they didn't want that, and I had to talk them out of it. And it will also shrink and expand to the size that you need, especially on mobile. And down below, we have a section which is just quick information, the approved associations. And you click for specs, so you can see which weights and lengths are available. And also very important, is it metal, is it composite? Because for certain leagues, composite's outlawed, or they want to make sure that it's, is it multi-wall, single wall? If you're into baseball, softball, you know what this means. And the tech, it's just an explanation of the different features of the bat from tip to tail. And 2 boxes down below, one to highlight something from the Pro Shop that you can buy as well, and also an extended warranty, so you can trade in your bat and get a new one. And also, they had a warranty section where you can fill out the form to submit your bat. That was using gravity forms. Oh, and to back up a bit, this website was based off of Canvas from Woo Themes. It's a great blank themes that you can use. And I did a child theme based on top of that. And I also added a few more templates for sales pages for this, so that all that the client had to do was change out that image, and the title, and the video. And you'd always have that background of home plate. And this site is not currently live. They've now moved on to their next phase. So this was live for about 4 months of 2014. And that's it. Any questions? Canvas from Woo Themes. It's similar to Divi. It's a great thing.
Really flexible. Canvas, you can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was out of the box. With Canvas, you use the short codes for this feature, the little tabs. But also here you notice that the text is not all the way across because it would make it too hard to read. So it has columns, so short codes for columns. So I told it to expand to only 2/3. And the font I used is XO2 from Google. I just wanted to use one font for the headline and the text that was easy to read, but was a lot better than Helvetica. Any other questions? Yes?
That advanced responsive video embedder, is it a YouTube video that you're using the plugin with?
Yes, but it also can take Vimeo and some others as well.
So it strips out the YouTube?
Well, when you press play, it will kick over to the normal play.
If you're sick and tired of just getting warning track power with your current bat, stick around because in this short presentation...
Yeah, you don't need to hear the whole thing.
All right, thank you.
Yes, just real quick, basically it says embed, where you put your cursor, you just click up above, embed media, and you put in the URL and you just answer a few questions like automatically load, that sort of thing, that's it. Yes?
So you have a shortcode for the video, shortcode for the tabs, and a shortcode for the columns. Do you make your client put on all the shortcodes, or do you have something that's like the client's interface quickly, then your code deals with the shortcodes, or do they have to deal with the shortcodes?
Well, at the time, I was on retainer and I was handling the back end. So when they asked for changes, I was the one maintaining the changes. And then when it was handed over to their in-house designer and developer. And he was instructed on how to do the shortcodes. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have one more presenter for the evening for the best of 2014. And the last presenter of the evening is Mary Baum. I'm going to show it like at the very end, I guess. And she'll be presenting front and neck racket. Say it one more time.
Front and neck.
Front and neck.
Yep.
Okay. So come on up and
Slur it all together, everybody say front neck.
front neck.
Yep.
Welcome to front neck. I say that almost every time they get a new member who shows up in interclub practice on Tuesday afternoons. Or did, because I'm not in front neck most of the time now. I've been working on this site for 8 years. But the part that I'm proud of that I did in 2014 is we do a tournament at the end of every season. 16 of the best pros in the St. Louis area, or some years, 16 of the best male pros we can get. They play a round robin for half of the evening, then semis and finals. And there's actual prize money. It's a pro tournament. This guy right here is the client. He's the manager. And on this site for the last 8 years, I have written just about every word. It is a Genesis site, combination of balance and minimum. Still a lot of XHTML in it. Video, motion graphics, all the still photography. There are the pros. We have a lot of pros. Pros that I shot this year are Will, Mick, who's apparently very young, this guy who's an official, like a tournament official. And video. I'm so tempted to click on this video, make you watch guys playing. That is the Jetpack photo gallery tiled thing. One of our pros also shot some of the action shots. And that's basically a big part of my life, constantly updating content. Here is what you are not supposed to do in the content area of a post. That's a lot of HTML. Column classes.
That's CSS3, nth of type for the menu. And this is basically 3 or 4 widget areas. There's a widget area into which the ball is a background area. Then there's a widget area for this content, and another widget area. Actually, this is 2 widget areas, a left and a middle, and then that's the right. So music is from, the music I'm not playing is from Audio Jungle, Motion Graphics or Motion. I'm a Final Cut Pro person. Love it. What do you want to know? That is the actual club back there. Logos. Our kids program, our tournament level program.
Are you using anything else from Jetpack other than that gallery that you showed us?
The sharing buttons, which need to come over this way.
Social sharing?
Yeah, social sharing. I think that's about it.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
How did you get the menu to look like it's curving around the ball?
That's the CSS3 nth of type. And then margin equals, margin, minus 100 pixels, minus 70 pixels, so that it's going around. I do not want to know what that homepage looks like in IE below 9. Just don't want to know. Oh yeah. Hang on a second. My new favorite toy. There's the horizontal tablet view of Top Guns, the home page. Vertical. By the way, if you're ever traveling with a laptop and you need to know what the real beauty page looks like, like of some huge monitor, you can go to some of these HD things. Not that one. Well, anyway, you can drag this out to forever.
What's the name of that tool, Mary?
This is Chrome DevTools. Current version. But if you set this to 3,000 pixels and then hit fit, now you know what it's going to look like on the Jumbotron. iPad. Here we are on my phone. As you can see for phones, it's a completely different thing because you can't really do much. All right.
A special thanks go out to our sponsors, SiteGround, which, by the way, you can still pick up more socks or notepads, which I know how those go really well together. You want to write notes, you want your feet to be warm while you're writing your notes. I mean, that's just common sense. Our other sponsor, WeWork, I'd like to thank them. They are really awesome for letting us come in here and commandeer this space once a month. And our last sponsor providing the food tonight is Art Control, which for those of you that don't know, Art Control is myself and this guy over here, Roy Savan. And this is our website right here. By the way, this website was built on Divi. Same one that, what's the name of your website again? Picky Girl. Yes. Just slipped my mind for a moment. But yeah, so I happen to be a really big fan of Divi as well. And I'll do a child theme of Divi and you can get a website up and running pretty fast.
I like the
Nick?
bug.
What's that?
I like the bug.
Thank you. I don't, you mean the logo?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like light coming out over a planet, but bug is cool too.
Well, bug is just their term for the graphic.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I thought you were like seeing a bug there. Okay. So Art Control, you know, not to describe it too dramatically, but we create powerful technology tools to connect designers, developers, and all mankind. Most notably, we've just developed this really cool premium plugin for creating style guides for your WordPress websites. So if you are a designer, or you're a developer, or you're a marketer, and you want to bring a little more panache to your website development process, you can start using style guides to display the logo and the influences for your design, and the color scheme and the fonts, and lay it out really nicely using the SG90 plugin. Now that one is a paid plugin, but we also, if you're just getting started with style guides, you've never used one before, we have a free plugin called the SG60 Style Guide Creator for WordPress. And it's pretty much this cool little item that what I've found is by offering style guides to my premium clients, the clients that have a little bit bigger budget and they're able to have like a discovery and design phase in their website design, this really helps me frame my services in a more professional way. So for me, I use SG90 on everything now. I even use it just very minimally on a phase 2 or a phase 3 of a website where I might just have to like show some icons and a few paragraphs, because setting up the style guide, it's really fast and easy. And then you just, with a short code, you put it in your page, and it's got these cool little areas to it. It's got your media image, your text, your color scheme, your text area. It's got fonts area where you can show the fonts H1, H2, H3. And it just elegantly and professionally lays all that out for your client so that they get a picture of what you want to present in your final website design before you start developing the website itself. One of the things this will protect you from too is getting too far into a development on a website before you've actually established what is the creative solution we're going to do. So you're not going back and doing rework over and over and over again. You're establishing the look and feel of the website first, then you're developing it. So not only is it something you can charge more of a premium for the fact that you even offer a style guide in your services, but on top of that, it protects you, the professional, as you're going through the project. It protects you from revisions. Especially if you can get a sign-off on something like a style guide before you even move into development. And of course, the other awesome tool that Art Control offers, for those of you, some of you already know, some of you don't, but it's called Coding Office Hours. And the cool thing about Coding Office Hours, this is Roy's baby, it's his brainchild. But the idea is, let's say you've developed everything else on your WordPress website, you're happy with most of it, but then you hit that one point, hit a wall at the end of the project, and you're like, well, if I could just do this one thing, I can't develop this one component. I have plugins doing everything else, I've got CSS for my styles and stuff, but there's this one thing that's just over my head. I can't figure it out. I looked online, I can't find the answer. You can go to codingofficehours.com,
and Roy, and he's got a bunch of professionals that are really advanced developers that are on coding office hours. You can ask one of these professionals a quick question, and for the price of a tip, you can just tip them. They'll work with you for 20 minutes, a half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and then you just give them what you think that time was worth. You know, and you want to be fair, you know, when you're giving that tip, but the point is that this is a tool that's there for you that is kind of community focused. WordPress is this kind of giving community where people go out and they do things for each other. This tool is based on that ethos. You know, it's like Coding Office Hours is here for you as a tool, and these people are giving their time to be a part of like just giving some advice. And it's a cool resource if you're in the middle of the month and you're not at a meetup like this one, and you just need a quick resource, you need a quick troubleshoot or something, you can go to Coding Office Hours, and then Roy or some really more advanced developer, even than I am. In fact, Roy, why don't you come up and just talk for a couple of minutes about Coding Office Hours? I'm just going to have him come up and present this for just like a minute. Is that cool?
We're talking about 2014. I built this in 2014. So the idea, again, same thing. I come here to these meetups, when I go to these WordCamps, I love helping people. That's where it came from. It came from, hey, get online, get some help. You have a white page error that you can't figure out. Brent had the same exact issue with the white page with plugins. You get online, you find someone to help you. So we got about 60 developers online right now, and most of them are my friends in the WordPress community, ranging from the Southern California area to Toronto to anywhere I go. I'm like, hey, you're a good developer, you should get on my website and help people. So there's always someone there available. And basically you just go in and you ask help. So I'm going to just go into someone's profile here really quick. And you'll see the stuff that he's you know, he considers himself an expert in. And I can go and ask him for something help. You gotta be signed in. So you sign in, you register, and it's all kind of message-based right now. There is actually a instant conversation option that you can implement if you guys happen to be online at the same time, which allows for text chat and video simultaneously from the website. So you can get that if you guys are both online. So it's a really cool tool. We have steady people coming in asking for help, whether it's from someone else. I'm actually managing the whole thing, so if you ask for someone's help and they're not getting back to you, I'll probably still step in and try to help you out. I've done that a couple times already. And I want to point out that this will be completely scrapped and started from scratch and launched in March. We're currently working on the next vision. We're at style guide phase right now. And WordCamp San Diego will be launching our newest version of this website, which will kind of flip it on its head and be brand new. But it's the whole same concept. You get online, people are going to try to help you out with your problem, and all you need to do is tip them. We are going to introduce a fixed price model as well. So if like you specifically want to talk to one person, you can get them on their time, and then it's just a fixed time, you know, amount for their time. So kind of two different methods there. We've noticed the tip model, a lot of people love it, so we're going to continue doing with that. Any questions about Coding Office Hours? Yeah.
Is it all geared towards WordPress, or should there be any other kinds of other content management system expert guys?
It's totally open. When you like, yeah. So I get a lot of stuff for like Angular stuff, because this is all built. I don't want to get too technical, but this is actually a single page application built in Angular. It's actually only one WordPress page running this whole thing. So I'll get a lot of like Angular questions and other things. So we're not actually focused on the WordPress community as far as the content, but we just happen to market it and talk about it a lot in the WordPress community. And a lot of people in the WordPress community tend to come in and talk and ask me questions and stuff like that. But no, we're not like saying only WordPress questions. Come ask whatever you want. Some of the other developers on there aren't in the WordPress community at all. They've come on board from other communities I'm a part of, like the Angular community or the Node community that I kind of go to. So yeah, you'll usually find someone who knows something from ASP to WordPress to something else.
Cool. So, thanks, Roy. Yeah, it's interesting. Roy comes from the background where he has become an artisan as a developer. And I come from a background where I was a designer, artist first, so my path has been more of an artisan, becoming an artisan as a designer in the WordPress space. So for me, when I look at websites, typically I'm looking at something like, even when I went to design and develop Art Control, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do a theme, and I'm going to do a child theme of this theme. And I typically will tackle a lot of my websites from the designer perspective, getting into the website. Whereas Roy comes to it and he thinks about it as a developer and comes at it from that angle. Anyways, I just think it's kind of cool. Thanks for coming out here to Hollywood WordPress again. This is the first one of the 2015 year. And I'm looking forward to this next year. I think we're going to do some really cool things. And just to let you guys know, there won't be a meetup for February, but we are going to return early to mid-March for our next meetup. And I think what we'll do is we'll be concluding the Artisan series that we started at the end of last year. And then we will be starting up something new after that, which I don't even know what we're going to do yet. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Thanks again for coming out, and thank you to all of our presenters. If we'll hang out for a few more minutes, we have another 20 minutes or so that we can chill here and get to know somebody new. And otherwise, we will see you again in March. Thank you.